We've got Strahan in the jailhouse here. Thanks
Hey,
for
team.
joining us at Festival One today.
Pleasure, man. It's great to be here.
Yeah, so Strahan, you've just done a little talk over at the Music
have.
Box. That was amazing. I came and sat down, very in depth. I wanted to talk though a little bit about your music because you've just brought out this song called "The Streets" featuring John Mark McMillan, and it's amazing. I know that there's a story behind this song.
Well, yeah.
Can you elaborate a little on that? Tell us a bit about the story, because I know it's a really special one for you.
Yeah, it is. I guess the song has two stories. It's actually a song that I'd written some time ago last year. I went over to the States in September to record an album, and it was sort of one of those songs that came out just before I went. And while I was there, I was meant to see a friend, and he pulled out on me last minute. And so my producer said, "Why don't you come to this John Mark show with me? He just happened to be playing in town that night." And I was like, "Dude, I'd love that," because I'd never seen him live.
Yeah.
So I went along, and he was like, "The only problem is we got to hang out with the guys after, because I haven't seen them in ages. We're just going to hang out, the two of us, for like the whole night." And I was like,
What a problem. The only
"Gosh."
problem.
I was like, sometimes my job's the worst. So ended up hanging out with him for a bit after the show, and just got along really well. And his band is just a really great group of guys. I actually took them around on Friday around to Mirawaii, and they know every flight of the Concorde's quote you could ever imagine in your life.
Oh, that's always fun.
So yeah, spent some time with him, and I'd written this song, and I felt like, man, it felt like it resonated with what he does, who he is, and I asked if he'd be interested in joining me on it, and he said yeah, and I was I was actually really stoked. I thought he'd say no. It was one of those things where I was like, oh, you got to try. It's kind of Hobbit from the corner of the world.
Yeah, well, they can
doing
only
his
say
best
no, right? And it's worked out really well for
Yeah,
you.
it has, man. And it's actually like, listening to his voice on the song, I said to Katie when I first got it back, I was like both amazed and then also depressed, because I was like, hearing his voice, I was like, yeah, he does his way better than me. He sings my song better than me. But hearing his voice on the song, I think, because I'd had a few years where I thought, because of my health, I'd never been able to sing again, it was almost like this beautiful moment for me of, I guess, of like rebirth. To be able to hear a song, let alone a song with John Mark singing on it, was a pretty amazing experience for me. So
Yeah, so that was quite an emotional thing, because I know you're going through your rough time, and it's John Mark McMillan's songs that you were, singing and declaring. And
yeah, so I'd had this, his song King of My Heart is a bit of like a major favourite of mine. I mean, he's got so many songs that I love, but it just happened that in 2017, when I was right at my most hopeless point in my health, I'd go to church on Sunday, and we'd sing the song King of My Heart, and I would just like literally weep and wail, and that I was
like
that
the
like
ugly cry.
I was the ugly cry at the
Yeah.
front. I think because it can be so hard to say like, God, you're good, when your circumstances are like pole opposite. So it felt to me like this kind of circular, beautiful thing that to be able to sing a song about kind of the God's love going out from us into the streets, to have John singing on it when they were such a significant part of like my inner journey now turning outward. It's meaningful.
Yes.
And I feel like in music sometimes things don't always feel meaningful. So it's nice to have a relationship with someone, or a working relationship with someone, where it has a deeper meaning than just something else. Yeah.
It's really come kind of quite full circle.
Yeah.
It's really like an important moment, a milestone. Yeah.
It is, and I'm kind of still pinching myself, because I genuinely did think that I'd never sing again. I thought it was done, and so even to be recording, to be doing music again, is a real joy. It's just a pleasure, Whereas I think before it was like stressful. Now I'm just like, man, every day I get to do this is a blessing.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Just backtracking a little bit to what you said before, you were standing in church and you were singing and you were declaring, God is good, but you weren't really like feeling that in that season. It's so important to make that declaration. And I was in your talk just before, and you were talking about prayer and the different, like the frontal lobe and the what is the back one called?
The limbic system and I don't know.
Yeah, and you were
bit and the
talking
feely
about
bit.
those and how prayer actually grows a certain part of your brain. Can you elaborate on like that? And
yeah, I mean, I think in moments like that, I think the powerful thing about worship itself and its kind of communal song sense on a Sunday is that sometimes saying the thing you don't feel, or sometimes even saying the thing you don't believe, is exactly what you need to do. And I think with a song like saying you are good in a moment when you genuinely can't believe it, you remap your brain. I mean, neuroscientists will now say that what you meditate on actually becomes more real to you. And that prayer helps to shrink fear and anger in your brain and increase the part of the brain that has compassion and empathy and love.
Yeah, that's
so
fun.
like by meditating on the love of God, on the goodness of God, you actually physically change your brain. You shrink fear, which I think is in the back and the front. Like I always get confused.
One of the lobes.
Yeah, one of the lobes, and then you increase compassion. And I think like that's helped me to see worship in particular, and actually Sundays in general, and the way that we talk about faith in a whole kind of different dimension, which has been refreshing for me.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. There's power in your declaration and in your words, actually speaking life into, those things that you want for yourself, like believing that. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to get there one day. And I think this song is just, I'm so stoked for you,
Thank you.
Thank you. So when's the album coming out? Because that's soon.
That's a great question. I am planning to have a Kickstarter out next month.
Oh,
so
nice.
fundraise to release it because these things cost cash.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all done now, so I just need to fundraise to do the final parts, and I'd love to kind of release it sometime in the next 3 months.
Awesome.
God willing, but these things are always some kind of a moving target. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you'll have any problem getting it funded. Everyone's very
I hope
excited.
not. It's
loves
honestly,
your
doing
music.
Kickstarters is like, it's the one thing in my career. I dread it. It's like 21 days you wake up every morning anxious,
Nerve-wracking.
just like, please let me not be publicly shamed.
Oh, no, I don't think you have any problem, my friend.
Thank
your music
you.
is
That's very
great.
kind.
We love your songs and have for many, many years.
Thank
so
you.
I
Thanks a
can't
lot.
wait for more to come. Thank you so much for your time
Hey,
this
pleasure.
afternoon.
Thanks for having me.